much for popping in. This year is going to be an amazing year. 2020, here we come. I've decided to keep going with the CASEing in the Catalogue, and I absolutely love bringing these to you, so I hope you're enjoying them as well. For the next couple of months, we'll be focusing on the MINI Catalogue and the Celebration Catalogue. Now, this little baby goes live tomorrow, the 3rd of January. You'll be able to check that out on my online store if you don't already have a copy in your hands. If you're a customer of mine already, you should have one. If you haven't received yours, let me know. But amazing amount of products in both catalogues. So today we are casing from the Peaceful Poppies suite, and we're using this card right here on the front cover. Because I can't actually open this catalogue and show you anything inside until tomorrow, I decided to go with one that's on the front page. Let's bring that card in and I'll quickly show you this one here. It's so beautiful. Let's get up to the craft table and we'll get started. Moving straight into the supplies for today's card, we have the Peaceful Moments bundle. Now, it is the sentiment stamp set and it is bundled with these gorgeous flower dies. You are going to need the flower dies for this card and the Peaceful Moments sentiment. Also in that suite, we have the painted poppies, and it's the flower stamp, and it bundles with these gorgeous dies. So we have the cutouts for the flower and the leaves, but we've also got some really great label dies here as well. These both can be purchased in the bundle and you save yourself 10%. And this whole suite is an absolute gorgeous suite, and I think you will not go wrong if you purchase the whole suite. We're using the 1-inch circle punch for the designer series paper, inking in Memento Tuxedo black ink, and we also are using a little bit of linen thread with this card as well. The gorgeous Peaceful Poppies designer series paper is absolutely amazing. I love this paper. If you buy nothing else out of the catalogue and you just purchase this one, you're going to do really well. I love this paper. Look at this one just here. That is perfect for a card front all by itself. So that's one side. We have this gorgeous other side here as well. This is so amazing, this designer series paper. And I have my card kit here. It's all ready to go. All the measurements and supplies can be found over my blog, and there is a link to that blog post in the description of this video. We are using thick Whisper White card base, and I have a thick Whisper White card mat as well to go on top. We are using Calypso Coral, Poppy Parade, Basic Black, and this little piece of crumb cake here is for the little tag on the card. So, but all those measurements can be found over my blog, so go check that out. I'm just going to start with my card front, and I've already pre-scored it. Now this is half a piece of A4 that's then scored in half, and then I'm just going to burnish that fold there. We don't need that anymore, so I'm going to pop that to the side. We are working with the thick Whisper White matting. And I think before we get started with the die cutting, I'm just going to bring in that 1-inch circle punch and that designer series paper. Now we are going to need 12 punches of each designer series paper. And I'm using these 3 designs just here for treats. It goes that way. So these 3 here. So I'm just going to punch out 4 of each one. So that was super easy. Let's bring the big shot in. We'll do some of our die cutting. So this die set's called Poppy Moments dies, and for it what we need is this large poppy We also need the outline and the smaller one, smaller outline, and the smaller detail. We're also going to be using these little inserts in the middle as well. And I'm using all three. Let me just bring them in and quickly show you. So these ones here. So our outline detailed die is using the Calypso Coral, and our full background die is using the Poppy Parade. So if I bring the Poppy Parade in first, we are going to use these two dies here and run that one through. Calypso Coral, we are using the two detailed dies. So these are super easy to make. They cut out brilliantly, so much better than our previous dies. I used to find that I'd have to run through a couple of times with delicate dies like these. These ones are just perfect, they come out straight away. Look at that. We have the basic black, and I'm just going to cut out or die cut all three of those dies. So just punching through those pieces. So I want to glue all my little pieces together. So I'm going to bring in some Tombow glue. Lining the die up, I'm just going to stick a little bit of glue in the middle and then just a little bit around the edges, just so it's tacked down. Pop an acrylic block over on top of it. That actually really gets it to adhere really well. So also with the smaller one, coming back with the larger one, we are using the bigger center. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue in the middle. Popping that down in the middle. And this smaller centre, I'm going to pop a little mini dimensional on the back there. Give that little bit of a pop. There we have it. This little half centre. We're going to glue that down to the smaller one. Aren't they cute? So pretty. So I'm going to line up all my circles how I want them. Gives us a nice even coverage of colours. So I'm just going to use my Tombow glue and glue all those ones down. Going to stamp our little sentiment on our tag here, and I'm using the Memento Tuxedo black ink, and the sentiment that we're using is thinking of you. Now the sentiment is actually quite a big sentiment. It says thinking of you with all my heart, so we're going to do a little bit of doctoring to our stamp just to create the thinking of you the way we want it. So I'm going to bring in some post-it notes, and I'm going to mask off everything except for the thinking. Now these are not the best post-it notes, but they will do. Now if you don't have really good post-it notes that are sticky, this is the way to do it. Pop them down, bring your ink pad down to your stamp. Don't move your stamp, just leave it sitting there and just ink up the stamp. Take your post-it notes off, and then we're going to stamp the thinking, lining it up. There we go. I'm going to clean off that with a baby wipe. And make sure you dry that stamp off as well. Let's bring in some more post-it notes, and now we're going to mask off everything that is not of you. So the thinking. Oh, that didn't last very long. I've just got that little bit there as well. Okay, ink pad down to the stamp again. And then I'm going to try and line up that to you under thinking. Doesn't that look good? Excellent. And it may also help if you put your labels on the back of your stamps. I don't do that because I find with the new cling stamps, they're just too strong. and I always pull too much on my stamps to take them off the blocks. I have just an old hole punch here that I'm going to punch a hole in the middle of that tag. So we have our hole in the tag. I'm going to run some linen thread around the card. And I want to do it so it's wrapped around 3 times. There we have it. I want to tie a knot. I'm going to tie a knot in it, just in the middle bit there, because then we're going to tie down that little label. I find it doesn't move if I do it that way. So let's pop the little label in and tag. There we have it. And I've got enough there for a bow as well. So let's get rid of that excess. And I found if I left the bow until after all the poppies are down, it was just easier. Okay. I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back of the poppies. And there's probably more dimensionals there than is needed, but that's okay. So I'm going to pop the smaller one down first because the bigger one just goes slightly over the top. And he's going to be popped up just there. Bringing the larger poppy in. Now you don't have to do these dies in just the poppy. I've seen them in multiple different colours and they look gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to stick just down like that. That's perfect. Tying our little bow. And you can either glue that straight down on your card base. I'm actually going to pop that up as well, because there's a little bit of that linen thread on the back. I find popping it up just sits down a lot nicer on the card front. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's card. If you have, please give me a thumbs up and I'd love it if you left me a comment. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do that as well. And don't forget, everything's over on my blog, so go and check that all out. Until next time, have a wonderful day and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.